All right, so I think Las Vegas is a really interesting town because the perception as a tourist is that it's this giant place with enormous buildings, but the reality is that the real community here is very small, and it's especially true if you narrow that down to the entertainment community, to the casino executives. So I think the mistake that's made here a lot is that people think they can just run through here like Godzilla, knock things over, and try to make things happen. But it really is about relationships, and that's an important part of, for me, it's an important part of business, is to maintain relationships. And over time, my relationships here, that they started as mostly the entertainers I knew when I moved here, have become people like casino executives and members of the press and people who are career members of the Las Vegas community. They're going to be here for a long time, but they don't get absorbed by the fact that they're making money because they're attractive, or because of other superficial reasons. They're here because they like what's going on. They partake in that, and they contribute in substantial ways. And they're not going to leave soon. Vegas is a transient city with people who don't necessarily treat you literally like their neighbor. They don't care how they treat you because they don't have to deal with you in the future. There's an interesting thing that happens in Las Vegas, especially with musicians. And Las Vegas has been attracting musicians, especially from Los Angeles, for years because you can actually make money here playing your instrument. It has not in the past been a very good place to get discovered, to be the next big thing, to be on the radio. And so what that's done is, as great as it is that it's paid a lot of bills for musicians, it's also had this numbing effect on their careers, and it has stopped them from achieving goals that they set out to have, because now they were able to work work a 9 to 5. They were able to work 3-5 days a week, whatever it is, and make money playing their instrument, but they don't go anywhere with that. And what's interesting, I used to think it was a shame how all the lounges in Vegas have closed. Not all, but many of them have closed over the last decade. But the positive effect of that is that you end up with these musicians that moved here just to make money, that now are out of work and are putting together bands and making original music again. And there's this little renaissance happening here, which kind of reminds me of my hometown, Austin, Texas. And with what's going on downtown and also the loss of lounges on the Strip, you're getting original music again. I think that's an amazing side effect. And I believe that we are going to be looking at a new music renaissance out of Vegas. You already see bands like The Killers and Imagine Dragons, and I think you'll see more. And we manage the band Blues Traveler, and there are other bands that we're talking to that seem to be excited that we're out of Las Vegas because they sense that there's something happening here also. There's a certain mentality, like an entrepreneurial mentality. I don't think you ever quite get to your destination. In my heart, I believe that in 10 years, 20 years, whatever it is, I will be so relaxed. I will have a villa in Italy, or I'll be on a beach house. But I think I really know deep down inside that's not the case. I think that I will probably be looking to conquer the next mountain. This whole career has been interesting. It's been a series of peaks and valleys, and I always like to say I've made it, half dozen times. So this one time I'd like to stay there. I had a very interesting and successful career as a magician, and made it to a point that most of those performers don't make it to. And then through a variety of circumstances, and partly because of 9/11 actually, that just didn't seem viable anymore. And then it turned to still performing somewhat, but producing shows. And we got very successful at doing that. And that developed into an idea for launching a nightclub restaurant. We used to own Cat House over at the Luxor. And it was a really cool endeavor, and we were partnered with someone who's now one of my very close friends, Carrie Simons, who's a celebrity chef. And that was a really interesting entertainment venture for me because it was like the show that never closes. It was open all the time, and anyone could experience it. You could experience it for, $8 and grab a drink, or you could experience it for thousands of dollars and, eat food and order bottles, and, it was a cool thing that I never anticipated earlier in life. But that had its challenges, and I ended up getting out of that business. And when I got out of that business, I realized I'd put all my eggs in that basket and let my whole production company business go, and I started over. So, so there you go again. You start over, and I developed into music management, which I never anticipated being a part of, and I love that because I am in my core a musician. I still like to play guitar. I don't suck, but I don't play out very often in front of anybody. I like music, and because I've been on stage, I feel like I know what musicians like and what different performers like. I feel like I can deliver on the management side to relate to them well. And so now we're managing artists and we're producing shows again. Finally, we have Jason Alexander's show right now in Las Vegas at Harrah's, and that's exciting to me. I like all of that. So where am I on my path? I'm probably right where I should be, and the thing is that my plan B is my plan A, and that's to succeed. I don't know what else to do. You just keep going. I probably have bags under my eyes right now because I haven't slept since 2002. So you just keep going. Finding a balance in professional and personal career is really tough if you want to be an entrepreneur. And understand that I didn't think I was setting out to be an entrepreneur. I was setting out to be a performer on stage. So to this day, I can't tell you if that was ego-driven or just a love of performing. I actually don't even know. But if you want to have success as an entrepreneur and forge your own way in your own business, it takes a certain amount of dedication, which makes it hard to develop personal relationships the way that you might want to. I do pride myself out in my personal relationships with friends, but it's definitely been tough on having a girlfriend. I'm not married yet, and that's made it difficult. There are some sacrifices, but I think that it can be worth it in the end. You still have to have balance. You have to figure out when too much is enough. But I also don't think that you're destined to be successful as an entrepreneur unless you have a lot of luck. You're not destined to be successful without serious dedication and perseverance. And it's hard to do if you're maintaining a day job. It's hard to do without the right partner. It's hard to do if you're maintaining a relationship, good personal relationship. But the other issue for me, if you have a day job, is are you hungry enough to pursue your personal goals, your personal entrepreneurial goals? And you may not be because your bills are paid. Whereas if your business is out there and you've got to pay the bills of the business and your personal bills, you just kind of have to go for it. And you write a lot of checks that you can't cash, both figuratively and literally. And you just try to make things happen. And it's exciting and it's scary. And some of the biggest career steps I've ever made were things I knew nothing about. When I opened a nightclub, the opportunity for a nightclub came up, and I'll never forget my business partner at the time said, "Why are we working on this? This isn't what we do." And I said, "Because this is cool, and we can put this together." And we did. And next thing you know, we are co-owners in a $6 million nightclub. And we were booking small shows in Atlantic City, and we had an opportunity to put a big show in, and we booked a Broadway show. Actually, I ended up booking 3 years in a row of Broadway shows, but it wasn't what we did. And I just saw there was an opportunity, and we went out and got one. And for that summer at the time, made more money than I ever made off of a handful of phone calls and meetings, which really opened my eyes to what you can do beyond, at the time, being a performer on stage. I think passion is important as just a way you live your life. There are people that get fixated on making things happen and have a passion for success, have a passion for life in general, and that is contagious, that is infectious. It brings people around you. It helps you make things happen. And I don't think it has to be singularly focused on business, though. And for myself, who I'm the only one I can speak for myself, I'm passionate about a lot of things people don't really realize that are completely off message for my business. I love to cook to the point that I, really, read up on it and love experimenting. I love languages. I speak a number of different languages. I speak Italian and Spanish, relatively fluently. And I like other cultures. I like exploring. And these are things that developed out of when I was a magician. I used to tour around the world. I used to love just absorbing this information about other cultures. I love going to Italy because those people do have a passion for life and the way they live their lives and their attitude towards their friends and family. And I think that you have to have serious passion about life in general to have a passion as an entrepreneur. I always say that I want to make sure that I achieve a level of success and that sticks. And I think that my stumbling point in the past has been a poor choice of partners. I think that, look, I'm from Austin, Texas, and I'm clearly not a good old boy from Texas. You can hear the lack of accent. But I came from a place filled with people that were pretty honest and direct. And I think I have, over the years, been overly trusting. I had some rude awakenings in Las Vegas when I moved here. But my goal from here is really, I'm building a business that I'm proud of, and I'm pulling people around me that I enjoy being around and that I can trust, and that have a unified goal of wanting to build this business also. And, you start to feel a real sense of partnership. And I want to grow a business with people and be proud and be able to see that business flourish even when I can't personally be involved, which would be a novelty for me because it seems like everything I've done, if I wasn't there, it wasn't happening. And that may be true, by the way. It may not be true. It may just be that I believe that I feel that way, and that's why I haven't slept in a decade. But so from here, I really want to build this management company and production company bigger, and be very careful about who comes on board and make sure these are people that I want to be working with. So if I could put a message in a time capsule to my future unborn child, I think the thing that I would want that child to take away is that they should do what they want to do in life, because I really feel strongly that you will only really excel at things that you want to be doing. And that they should want to do that thing enough that they have a real drive to do it. I'm Seth Yudof, and that's my chapter and verse.